Welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. My name is Mark Storrs, and hanging out with me as always is
Rob Morphy.
Robert. Unfortunately, as those from the $10 tier can see, Christopher, there's a form of him here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a form, but
it's an avatar.
The breath of old man winter has claimed him for this week.
Yes.
The icy breath.
Wow.
Breathing down his breath.
Wow.
Yeah, that made total sense.
Yeah. Stealing his breath.
Stealing his breath. Yeah.
Digging into the maw.
There it is.
But he'll be okay.
Yeah, no, Chris is good. He's going to be out this week. He's sick, but like I said, the $10 tier, we do have a little stand in here for him. But yeah, Rob and I are here doing it. Thunderdome protocols completely enacted, making it happen. Before we get started, actually, I want to give a quick little note here that it is December and there are tons of TeePublic sales going on. Mm-hmm. So you want to get some merch, go over there to hellerspace.com, get yourself that merch. Everything is on sale from like 35% off or whatever, like $16 tees. So perfect time, get your merch. Excellent for Christmas. Buy yourself something nice. We're always worried about buying other people's shit. Like, no.
Spoil yourself.
Yeah, get yourself something nice. Like if I buy one present for somebody, I'm like, I'm gonna buy a present for myself.
Wow.
Yeah, every time I get someone else something, I get myself something.
I like those protocols.
Yeah, that's why I have a lot of shit, and I currently have a case open at the Ontario Antique Mall where I'll be selling a lot of my collectibles out of.
Indeed.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at Cosmic Monster Collectibles, pushing my other side business. On my other side business.
Wow.
It's podcast within side businesses.
Shit.
Yeah. All right, man. We got a fun one this week. I wasn't sure where we were going to go with it, but I read this title and I was like, all right, man, I'm down with this. British bus Bedlam, Phantom Poker, The Burning Damned, and the Wavertree Incident.
It almost sounds like a punk rock lineup.
It does.
Like a 90s show at like Lost Horizon. Oh, the Burning Dam, they're opening for the Wavertree Incident. You know, the British Phantom Poker's back.
Bro, Phantom Poker's my favorite, dude. It does definitely have like a 90s punk rock feel to it, like for sure. So, all right, man. Well, you know what? Without further ado, we're just going to jump into this and get started with... For most urbanites, catching the bus is a fairly routine aspect of life. In most cases, buses take us to and from our appointments, errands, and places of employment with a regularity that is almost mundane. But for an unlucky few living and dying in Liverpool, England, there's a sinister side to this specific form of mass transit that can be, quite literally, reality shattering.
Yeah, it'll fuck you up.
I like the fact that I explain what buses do. that's my favorite part of it. Like,
yep.
You know what though? We can't assume everybody knows what a bus does.
That's fair.
Exactly. I mean, I haven't ridden the bus in years. Our partner here, Chris, rides it constantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So
he supports the mass transit.
Yeah, he does. It's good.
And I'm a fan when I need to be. I mean, I'm a fan of it in principle. I don't avail it.
Yeah, no.
Avail myself of it, I should say.
But I mean, then again, too, like in our town, it doesn't really make much sense. But, if you're in a bigger place, the hustle, the bustle, the big old New York City life or whatever, wherever you are, San Diego, doesn't matter. Yeah, man, buses are a thing. We've got some Bedlam happening. Robert, let's get started.
Boasting a blood-curdling history and an epic array of spooks over 500 and counting, York has long been considered one of the most haunted cities in England, if not the world. But while the ancient walled city seems to have cornered the local market on bogies, boogans, and nocturnal bump makers, makers of the bump in the night.
I like that. That was great. Bogies, boogans, and nocturnal bump makers.
When it comes to 100% weird, guano-fueled gut punches of high strangeness, then one need look no further than approximately 100 miles to the west of York to the crazy coastal city of Liverpool.
I know we got listeners living in Liverpool, so shout outs to y'all. Thank you for your support, and be careful of the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Among other things.
There you go.
Well, we're about to get into it.
Cool.
Nestled on the east side of the Mersey estuary, next to the Irish Sea, Liverpool is, according to Wikipedia, I only go for the best sources, the fifth largest city in the UK and the largest settlement in Merseyside with a population of just over 1.5 million human beings. And more than its fair fucking share of completely inexplicable entities. In fact, Liverpool is notorious for being the quantum glitchy time slip capital of Europe and has played host to all manner of enigmatic entities, from a devil in a well to a lovelorn, kid-chasing, train-smashed witch named Screeching Ginny, to an eerily gasping, disembodied torso, to the maddeningly moist exploits of a local hydrogeist, just to name a few. And that's not even counting the massive flying saucer that was seen above the city center, or the puffy cumulus cloud woman, or the bizarre being known simply as Tablecloth. You're going to like this, who was last spotted in September of 1979 near Allerton Hall, when a pair of young joggers found themselves being pursued by what they claimed was a free-floating linen accompanied by a galloping headless horse. So that's a fun picture.
I mean, kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the duo you don't expect. Like, I'm seeing just like the sheet, just like the tablecloth, just
and then
undulating.
A headless horse.
And then a headless horse running alongside of it.
Man.
It's pretty fucking cool.
I honestly wasn't expecting the headless horse, but cool.
Just as the swish of fabric and the clomp of diabolical hooves seemed to be about to overtake them, the terrified teens suddenly stopped, resigned to their fate, only to find that the peculiar pair had vanished without a trace. For those who lived there, spontaneous run-ins with nebulous napery represent just another day in the eldritch existence of Liverpool, where it seems that the ordinarily immutable rules of time and space, or for that matter, common sense, simply don't apply, or at least not with any guaranteed regularity. It's crazy. It's like Ohio, but in England.
Dude, is this Europe's Ohio?
This is Europe's Ohio.
Nice.
Or at least the British Isles, Ohio.
Perfect.
But as bizarre as these and so many other beings and events may be, and trust we could fucking fill volumes on this, what we're going to focus on today is a strange supernatural subset that deals with, of all things, mass transit. But not just any old form of public transportation. No, this episode we're going to be focusing specifically on what has to be the world's most haunted bus routes. But before we dive headfirst into this winding labyrinth of weirdness, let's first introduce our setting, which in this case just happens to be a stone classic in Anglo-centric vehicular design. Outfitted with a front-mounted 6-cylinder diesel engine and coming in at a staggering 30 feet long by 8 feet wide by damn near 15 feet tall, the iconic cherry red double-decker AEC Routemaster first rolled off the Park Royal Vehicles factory floor in 1956, and in a flash, an automotive legend was born. Sporting a sweeping back entrance, a rear staircase, and a seating capacity that could accommodate between 57 and 72 passengers, these candy-colored super buses were not only the workhorses of urban UK mass transit, but would become one of the most emblematic images of 20th century England, ranking right up there with dour-faced royal guards, the crown jewels, and fish and chips.
Dude,
the double-decker bus.
I was gonna ask. This is the double-decker one,
classic.
Right? Oh, the classic.
Dude, when I got to ride it for the first time, I was ecstatic.
Damn, I want to go one so bad.
Oh, I got to ride the convertible one.
Did you go right to the top?
Oh, yeah.
You have to.
You gotta.
It's gonna be lame and sit in the bottom of the bus like, oh, look at me, I'm an American. You gotta go all the way to the top, like, fuck yeah, dog, let's
Hell
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting a tour of London.
Yeah.
The bridge. It didn't fall.
And you got to do the open air one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, seems so
I rode on a
Can you
closed
smoke
one.
Up there?
I mean, this was the 90s, so yes. Probably still to this day.
Should be
I don't
able
know.
To. I mean, it's open air, right? I don't know if you want to be rude.
I mean,
I don't know why I care.
It's pretty old school.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
like,
not like
bro,
you're a smoker.
At the top?
I'm sure you can still vape there.
Yeah. Should I ask, like, is it okay if I vape up here?
Right.
Can I blow clouds out of the back of this double-decker bus?
Wow.
No one in England will like me, but that's okay. I love them.
That's fair.
It's fine.
Sadly, the use of these magnificent machines has dwindled from their nearly ubiquitous prime, ranging roughly from the mid-50s to the early 1980s, to what is now just a handful of privately run heritage routes that cater to old-school tourists. So if you went there today, you could still ride one, but it's a little niche thing. It's not everywhere that it used to be. But in their heyday, their numbers were plentiful and the streets seemed to be filled with these massive four-wheeled conveyances. It would be the sheer commonality of these big red buses that would set two apart from the rest of these run-of-the-mill AEC route masters. I almost pronounced
Route master.
I love it. Oh, the old route master. I didn't even know that's what they were fucking called until I started writing this, and I'm like, holy shit.
I'm getting an entire education on buses.
Fuck yeah.
Like, I didn't know about this
We're
shit.
learning bus.
Yeah, there you go.
That ran the once popular Merseyside bus routes of number 10 and even more frightening, the hell on wheels that was number 79. A bus that, for reasons one can only guess at, wasn't merely haunted, but was somehow transformed from a typical transport into a zone of horror whose least offensive residents were the faceless fiends often seen occupying lonely seats in the back of the bus. But more on that in a moment.
Man, you got haunted buses, dude.
Buses.
Fuck.
You don't ever think about it.
No, you don't think about a bus being haunted.
But once you get to, a double-decker, that's a two-story, like, little home on wheels.
Yeah, it's true.
And the hauntings begin. Cars can get haunted.
Yeah,
We know the
Golden
Christine,
Eagle,
the Golden
yeah.
Eagle.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Huh. Okay.
So,
what's that one of the devil drives with the black vulva or something like that?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The Volga.
Volga.
Yeah.
Not vulva. No,
Yeah.
totally wrong.
Hey, little Freudian slip.
We at work we have a Volvo loader, and I had to call for service, and I'm like, yeah, we got a Volvo loader, and I realized the dude laughed. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
Like I'm a fucking idiot. The black Volga.
Yes.
There you go. All right.
Yes, indeed.
Back to the haunted buses.
Mm-hmm. But let's begin with the relatively innocuous Route 10 bus and its anachronistic occupant. I stumbled across this account in the May 5th, 2024 episode of the always entertaining Bedtime Stories YouTube channel. They're Brits. They speak with like great regal tones and they tell fun stories. I recommend it for anyone interested in this kind of stuff, obviously.
Nice.
In a program titled The Wavertree Bus Incident, the host stated, quote, Liverpool also plays host to a somewhat curious phenomenon, which is to be found within its wider paranormal catalog of time slips and strange reality glitches. A significant number of inexplicable incidents have been reported, all of which relate directly to the city's transportation network. These involve modern-day vehicles and travel routes which could not possibly have any association with events from the past, yet somehow they continue to play host to mysterious encounters with entities which seem to defy any kind of rational explanation. Beings and characters that appear alongside unassuming residents who are attempting to travel across the city. More often than not, these apparitions choose to interact directly with their fellow passengers, often causing deep distress as a result of their actions. Amongst these strange entities is a young girl with shoulder-length blonde hair who wears traditional Victorian dress and appears in front of numerous passengers along the city's number 10 bus route.
Not expecting that.
Yeah.
You might think cosplay. You know what? You're wrong.
You'd be wrong.
That's right.
And
Spirit of the haunted little girl.
Again, like, how do you pick up a hitchhiker like that?
Area of effect, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, so maybe the house where she died is now a road, and the bus is just cruising.
Goes through it, and she's just standing there.
Gets snagged.
I guess. Is that how ghost works?
Or it's a demon. Like, we don't know how ghosts work. We make that clear every time we talk about
I mean, if she was
ghosts.
hit by the bus, it would make sense.
Well, yeah, but Victorian era, there was no...
Dude, if she got gauged by the bus, that's my new term, getting gauged.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's too soon, bro.
For Gage, he came back. He had a resurgence, literally.
Sometimes dead is better, buddy.
Yeah, dude, he has a little top hat on. He's like,
Okay.
no fair, no fair.
Wow.
Yeah, his little scalpel. The kid fucking rules, dude.
Yeah, that Achilles heel moment.
They made a
is pretty
Funko
brutal.
Pop of that kid.
Did they really?
They really did.
Oh, my
I've
God.
not got it yet,
Well, you will.
but I will.
Yes.
Yes.
Back to the little lady on bus 10.
Nice.
This often mischievous apparition runs around, pops up from behind seats, and generally indulges in the kind of juvenile antics one might expect from a bored, slightly spoiled child of any era. But this ghost girl also has a bit of a mean streak. For an unlucky few who rode the number 10 bus and who, after a long day of work or night of play, happen to find themselves drifting off to sleep, this evidently deceased and decidedly rude child seemed to revel in catching the most exhausted among them unawares and jolting them back to alertness with a quick poke in the eye.
Oh, God, in your eye?
Phantom poker.
Dude, in the eye.
Yeah.
That's fucking rude. I've been poked in the eye plenty of times. Sucks.
Sucks.
Yeah, you're like, shit.
Never good.
Can't see.
Mm-hmm. Be they fatigued factory workers, tipsy travelers, or sleepy students hoping to snag a brief snooze between stops, it seems as if no one was safe from the digital devastation wrought by this phantom poker. Yeah. You're welcome. Where's Chris when we need him? Rolling his eyes at that.
Really?
Stunned fellow passengers could only stare in a combination of shock and disbelief as this vexatious Victorian would abruptly appear, creep up on an unsuspecting catnapper, and deliver an unprovoked attack with her fiendish finger. Once so rudely awoken, the teary-eyed victims would often leap to their feet, lashing out in rage, but it was too late. The ghost girl was already gone.
Yeah, especially if you're seeing like other people, you're immediately like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah, looking around. What?
Yeah, what? Who wants to fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
dude.
An eye poke. It's fighting. Yeah. Oh yeah.
The $10 tier can see this. The old school.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Pugilists.
Pugilists.
Yes.
Yeah. I want a pugilist prize.
Curtains McAllister here.
Yeah. Oi. There you go. Like this. Fuck yeah.
Fucking love that.
The best.
Right on. This is a little disclaimer here. As far as I know, these nasty jabs never resulted in the loss of an eye. Still, it's no fucking picnic. However, as unnerving and oh my God, stumble much, and enigmatic as this Victorian waif's unprovoked ocular assaults most assuredly were, they were less perplexing than the existence of the aforementioned faceless fiends on Bus 79. Now we're moving to Bus 79. Bus 10? Adorable. So cute. You're going to get poked in the eye if you're sleepy?
Yeah, it's pissy. You know, like, God damn it. But you
think it's weird?
Yeah.
You're in for the shit now.
Okay.
Bus 79 is where fucking the world unravels.
Nice.
And nothing's going to be okay.
All right, cool. I'm fucking prepared, dog. Strap me in.
According to Bedtime Stories, quote, there are also multiple reports of faceless spirits riding the number 79 which have run away or disappeared when they've been challenged. I don't know who's challenging a faceless passenger.
Mark the pugilist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting all scrappy.
Dude, I see a man with no face. I'm like, oh, that no face needs a punching.
Oh.
Yeah.
Black no eye.
Especially if I'm fucking drunk in England on a double-decker bus trying to smoke. There you go.
I mean, all of these things.
My eyes all fucked up from the other bus line I was on where the girls poked the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still suffering from that.
Painting a picture.
I like this.
Nice.
These apparitions present as having no recognizable features whatsoever, instead possessing perfectly smooth facial areas. They appear isolated, well away from other passengers, and make no sound whatsoever when they are subsequently interacted with. Several of these anonymous figures have been documented by members of the city's police force, which has been called to a number of incidents by terrified bus drivers. When the police then approach these apparitions, they run off on foot and disappear from sight, despite there having been no physical way for them to have escaped.
Oh, that's weird.
End quote. I'm not sure what that means. Like, they run down a blind alley, I guess, and then they're just gone.
Well, they're on the bus, so
right.
if the bus
Do
stops,
the
police get on, and then they just
hide behind a seat, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Again, where are you collecting these fucking things? We don't know.
Yeah.
We're gonna just put it in the craw. We'll discuss theories later, I suppose.
Interesting.
Yes. Uncanny though these slippery specters may be, the utterly horrific exploits of the next phantasmagorical fiend is literally the stuff of nightmares. The post-midnight run on Route 79 was considered by most of the drivers saddled with the thankless task to be a grade A shit shift. It was too early for late night restaurant and pub workers to be getting off, and way too late for most hardworking 9-to-5ers to be out and about, leaving what can best be described as a chaotic combo of drunken rabble, nodding junkies, sundry insomniacs, and a whole host of shady characters trying to spot an easy mark among the partially incapacitated.
So this is a cool bus, is what you're telling
It's
me.
the cool bus.
This is where you meet the Sex Pistols.
That's right.
And you're like, you guys really aren't that cool.
And get mugged.
yeah, and get mugged. Yeah.
It was, as they say, par for curse in the life of a bus driver, and the unnamed fellow tasked with the duty this particular evening was even more wary than usual. The paunchy driver knew that trouble could come at a moment's notice, and there would be no guarantee that there'd be a police officer handy if the situation required it. So the man behind the wheel of the double-decker kept a watchful eye not only on the sparse assemblage of passengers directly behind him, most of whom kept to themselves, avoiding eye contact and casting their beery-eyed gazes toward the filthy floor, but also on a lone teenage girl who appeared to be passed out on the upper level. He kept an eye on her through the use of a periscope-like device designed to keep the driver apprised of all parts of the moving vehicle. And I did not realize, again, until researching this, that they had a periscope.
Dude.
That they can check out the top side.
That's kind of cool. I guess it makes sense. There's no other, unless you have like a bus attendant to like hang out. But like, so you're just driving, merry old England, and then you fucking look through your thing. You can see up there. Kind of dope, man. Bus with a periscope.
Right.
Fucking cool.
You got to make sure, there's no antics going on.
Yeah. I remember me a double-decker bus. You gotta man that better.
Oh, yeah.
Got to have an attendant up top, one in the back. It's a big fucking bus.
Usually they have a ticket taker along with the...
somebody.
Or a guy that's collecting the money or whatever.
Yeah, like in school, when you get in the school bus, there's always like a bus aide. Because as soon as you walk to the back of the bus, they're like keeping their eye on you, and they know.
That must have been a later generation thing. It was fucking truly madness.
In middle school is when we had the bus aides, but we were also really fucking terrible kids.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to.
That's fair.
All right, cool.
Right on. Already exhausted and ready to call it a day, the temporary captain of this big red boat had no idea that in mere moments he would go from being mildly concerned to absolutely petrified as he came into contact with a semi-tangible terror that seemed to have oozed off the cover of a particularly lurid long-band EC comic. Or, more apt still, something that crawled off the pulpy, blood-drenched pages of one of the nastier chapters in Clive Barker's essential Books of Blood anthologies. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The fine folk over at Bedtime Stories set the scene. Quote, with only 10 minutes to go before their arrival at the final stop, there were now only a few sporadic passengers remaining in the vehicle. All were situated downstairs on the bus's lower deck, with the exception of one young woman who was seated on her own on the upper level. It was just at the point when the driver was beginning to ease up and thank God for a rare, uneventful journey that a piercing scream echoed down the stairway behind him. This sudden and unexpected commotion forced him to apply the brakes and pull over to one side of the road before looking into the periscope at the side of his steering wheel to see what was going on. As he did so, he caught sight of the disturbing image of the girl seated high above him, writhing and twisting as if she was suffering the effects of a seizure or another medical incident. Gesturing to the rest of the passengers to remain seated, the driver hurriedly made his way up the stairs and attempted to calm the girl as he walked past the rows of empty seats towards her. Noting that she appeared to be completely awake and in control of her actions, but at the same time seemed to be struggling in a violent manner, trying to rise from her seated position almost as if she was caught fast upon something. Unsure exactly what was going on, this is me writing now, the driver leaned across the writhing and shrieking teen, trying to figure out what it was that she was caught on, and almost certainly rueing the fact that she couldn't have waited to have her likely drug-induced freakout until after she left his bus. Still, this kid was clearly struggling, and the man was bound and determined to help. It was at that moment that he finally saw the unthinkable. A thin, severely burned human arm and hand seemed to be jutting up from the back of the cushion. Not a tear in the cushion, just the space, the impossibly thin space wedged in the back.
Oh man, this is like some Ring shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's yuck.
She climbs out of the bus seat. Like weird.
The driver could clearly see that there was no one beneath the seat, but still this charred and grasping hand seemed to be trying to pull the girl into the infinitesimally small space within the cushion.
Oh man.
The thing had somehow breached our reality, and for reasons known only to it and perhaps the young woman, it seemed hell-bent on pulling her into this potentially interdimensional rift. Bedtime Stories continued their account. Quote, the driver suddenly recoiled in shock and horror, falling hard against the seats nearby. He watched in utter disbelief as the badly burned and twisted human hand, which was holding onto the girl's arm, ever so slowly released its grip, remaining perfectly still for a moment, almost as if it was some sentient creature. It was then, in an instant, that it retreated directly through the cushioning in the rear section of the seat where the girl was sitting, leaving absolutely no trace of its presence.
You just got to burn that bus.
You just got to burn the bus.
There's nothing you can do. I mean, what do you like? Take the seats? Like the seats are haunted. Like remove the seats.
I mean, and you can't rely on that being the only haunted seat.
No, 100%.
You've already got faceless fuckalls.
Yeah,
just escaping the cops left and right, not really bothering anybody, keeping to themselves.
I mean, maybe somebody. No, see, even if you were under the seat, putting your arm up, like trying to do that,
it's
like,
so thin.
Yeah,
like, you can't.
Wouldn't be able to do it.
You'd have to be, Plastic Man or fucking Reed Richards or something.
Good call, Plastic Man.
But you're a monster, a ghost.
Yeah,
charred, burned, and
weird.
nasty.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
Like get up.
Yeah.
Like first things first, get up.
Right.
Second thing, go downstairs. There you go.
Frazzled, panicked, and exhausted, quote, the girl tumbled into the driver's arms with a series of dark red marks appearing on her skin where the charred appendage had been holding on to her. A faint whiff of acrid smoke hung in the air, this having been the only trace of the horrifying encounter which both of the traumatized witnesses had just experienced. So just that little nasty, burned skin.
Yeah, it's gross.
Acrid,
gross,
nasty smoke. And then that's it. And then I don't know what you do at this point. Like, the account does not continue.
Right.
But I mean, do you like go out for like a cup of coffee and try to break it down, just try to figure it out? Do you volunteer to like drink pots of coffee and watch over each other while you sleep to make sure nothing untoward can happen?
Just be like, okay,
are you best friends, or do you never even look at her again?
I mean, I don't even know what.
Do you quit that day?
You either become super good friends, or you just like, all right, cool, next bus stop, see you later, bye.
Yeah.
And then just burn the bus. So
yeah, so there's so much that I want to know about the epilogue of this. Probably nothing happened. He probably helped her off.
Yeah, and that was
drove back to the station. Probably went back to work the next day because motherfuckers, got to make a living. But maybe not.
Yeah, how do you bring this up to the mechanics? Like, guys, got a problem. Burning demon arm coming out of the fucking seat. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, like choke holding.
Yeah,
people.
Like, we need to address this. Yeah,
giving handies.
Yeah,
least expected.
Unexpected nighttime handies from a burning.
Bad scene. Everybody's fault.
Just burn pubes everywhere. Jesus.
And here's where I put on my Uncle Bobby speculative hat a little bit.
Cool.
What are we to make of this horrifying ordeal? Did this distraught kid, perhaps suffering from addiction and God knows what other physical and or psychological ailments, had been spontaneously attacked while trying to catch a few minutes of shut-eye? I think I read that a little bit fucked up, but like basically the assumption was that this kid was probably an addict of some sort, though there's no guarantee of that. And like, had like there been some like spontaneous manifestation of these personal demons.
Oh yeah, we talked about this before,
right?
We
definitely dealt with it in the the Pacific Rim sleep demon thing that was the inspiration for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
where thoughts can literally kill if you believe.
Yeah,
right.
Interesting.
Had she been spontaneously attacked while trying to catch a few minutes of shut eye, or maybe having a particularly lucid dream that at least while in the confines of this insidious Route 79 bus, became manifest due to the nefarious forces that seem to have made the bus their adopted home, which is to say, having a crazy dream, but these fucking evil forces are trying to turn it into something.
And using the buses, the haunted buses, their conduit.
Again,
Ooh,
pissing in the wind.
I like it.
We're having fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Perhaps she was dealing with a vengeful wraith.
Ooh.
Someone who she had intentionally or inadvertently done wrong.
A curse.
A curse.
Thin it.
Oh, boy.
It's my favorite one.
Yeah, don't eat the pie.
No. Jesus, no, don't do
eat
it.
the pie.
No. Or like dragging me to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
There you go.
Yeah, the curses are terrifying.
Yep.
Who knows what the hell happened that terrible night? But there's one thing I'm convinced of, and that is that the driver likely never sat down on that back bench ever again. Hell, I'd never get onto that damn bus again if I was him, but that's just me.
If you can pick your bus as a driver, I'd be like, don't give me the demon arm bus. No. Like, give me the one that is lacking a demon arm. And you gotta tell your coworkers, like, dude, you're never gonna guess what happened. This is fucking nuts. Demon arm came flying out of the seat, grabbed this
and maybe
girl.
Other people saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt somebody burned to death in the back seat of a
I was thinking
bus.
about that. What if it is like some sort of like vengeful spirit from like somebody that was like in like an awful accident or like was up there and got burned or something, which I don't know if that's really a thing. I mean, you'd think the driver would know about it. The bus company covered it up. You know what? It's like Freddy Krueger.
Wow.
They covered it up.
That's interesting.
There you go.
I mean, I suppose, like scumbags that like burn homeless people or something.
Yeah, it could be something like that. It could be some ruffians or something up top. They set somebody on fire.
Hooligans.
Fucking dicks.
Yeah, super dicks.
Yeah, the Freddy Krueger protocols.
Okay.
There it is.
So now we're getting to the gold standard.
Okay.
Already we've established that Bus 79 is an unpleasant place to be.
Got a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
You just got to retire it at this point. Just like get it out.
No, I hope you're ready.
Put her to rest.
Because our final account, which also took place on good old number 79, is a fuck-sucking doozy, bro.
Okay, all right. Here we go.
This case, known as the Wavertree bus incident, took place on what began as an ordinary afternoon in January of 1961. This event was, again, covered by Bedtime Stories and also on Mr. Black's always excellent Beyond Creepy YouTube channel, both of which I've used for reference. There's another reference. We'll be getting to that in a minute.
Okay, cool.
First off, Bedtime Stories set the tone with, quote, "Perhaps the most unnerving incident to have ever taken place on the number 79 is an episode which deeply affected multiple witnesses and was so utterly traumatizing in nature that it firmly cemented itself within the city's already extensive supernatural law." It's so heavy duty.
It is, man. I'm just like waiting for Judge Dredd to show up.
The day in question carried with it a biting chill in the air, despite the fact that the skies were clear and the sun was beaming. Just after 12 p.m., the bus was bringing passengers out of the city center. The driver that afternoon was a man by the name of Douglas Johnson, who was not a regular driver along that particular route. Instead, he had been called in by his employers at short notice due to several of the other drivers all suffering from a stomach illness, which had been making the rounds. So he's not even supposed to be there. He's just patched in there.
Man,
substitute bus driver.
He's getting a little OT, man. A couple hours of that OT.
Dougie Johnson.
There you go.
Mr. Black independently elaborated. They didn't collaborate, obviously. I'm blending this. On a Sunday in January 1961, a 22-year-old man named Doug, so now we know his age, had been put in charge of the 79 route bus due to a large number of people in his workplace falling ill. Corroboration. It was quite chilly that afternoon as he drove up High Street. He had just picked up a large number of passengers at the city center and was driving along when he spotted a large gray metal sign in the road with the word diversion on it. That means detour in America.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yep.
In the road. Weird.
There was also an arrow pointing toward Prince Alfred Road, which was on Doug's right-hand side. He checked the mirror and swung the bus right where it passed by the thatched house pub. He shouted to the passengers, There's a diversion, folks, so I'm going to go up for a lane and onto the church road to the next stop by Picton Clock. Some of the passengers who had gotten up from their seats and were preparing to get off at their usual stop became frustrated and sat down again. Just then, as it passed Hunter's Lane, the bus engine sputtered and stopped. Clearly a UFO. It is not. Doug looked ahead and noted that the road was clear. He checked the side mirror and he saw that the road behind the bus was also devoid of traffic. He tried to restart the engine, but it strangely didn't respond or even make a sound. Then things took an even stranger turn when, out of nowhere, 9 weird figures dressed in black hooded robes appeared and slowly began surrounding the vehicle, end quote.
Oh, now we're fucking in it, dude.
Now we're in it.
Now we're in it. The cultists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that set the diversion up. Yeah, I saw that coming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't fool Mark here.
Some fucking wrong turn bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder how many people on the bus.
Lots.
There's only 9 dudes in robes.
Yeah, but
you know?
They're chock full.
Yeah, but all you need is like 8 solid dudes. Just
8
go
solid
down there and
dude.
put an ass whooping on these dudes.
Like fucking strong fortitude dudes.
I mean, if you had like 15 decent people, you could do it, you know?
So 15 decent people beat 9 cultists?
Yeah, or whatever.
I didn't know the math worked out that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a big group of people. They're not dead.
What about like 17 below average?
Yeah, see, it depends. You got to do like 2 on 2.
You still have 8?
2 on 1, 2 on 1, sometimes 3 on 1, depending. And what kind of weapons you got in there? What do you got? Like walking sticks, carriages?
Probably a shillelagh or 2.
Yeah, dude, a carriage. Just throw a baby carriage at one of these bastards.
Tire iron?
Yeah.
Oh, a pram.
Yeah, dude.
Huck a pram.
A pram. Excellent old timey.
Fucking dumb.
Ma'am, can you throw your pram at the occultists, please?
All right.
All right, man. I got a feeling this might be some supernatural shit, so no amount of fighting is going to save you.
Oh, that's interesting. Look at you.
Yeah.
And this is episode, what, 100 and what?
360 something, yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, exactly.
You finally caught up.
Yeah, you know, it takes me a little bit of time, but eventually I get there.
Doug suddenly became aware of the fact that these monastic figures were wearing black masks with 2 eye holes beneath their hoods. And it was then that he noticed that one of them was standing just outside the bus door, staring up at him. A murmur of confusion tinged with just a pinch of panic rippled through the passengers. One need remember that this was 1961, long before such concepts as flash mobs or viral fear factor style pranks were the norm. The 9 cloaked figures stood silently around the route master, blocking all of the exits. Doug continued to try to get the engine to turn over so he could get himself and his charges the hell out of there, but that's when the utterly unexpected occurred. Bedtime Stories wrote, "In a heartbeat, the figure which had stood outside the doors was suddenly standing right next to Douglas, having somehow entered the vehicle, despite the doors having remained closed."
See, son of a bitch.
The supernatural.
Yeah, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, asking. We got a priest back there? Got Ghostbusters? What do you got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truth.
Prams?
Oh, prams.
Yeah.
And a rev.
And a rev.
Prams and a rev.
Dude, it's all you need is 2 prams and a rev.
Mr. Black continued, Doug did not recall ever opening the door, nor did he believe he crawled in through the window. He was just there somehow, end quote. Doug got to his feet and began to protest. But before he could even speak, according to Mr. Black, quote, the figure looked at the passengers and announced, "Don't attempt to leave. You are all under my power. You can't leave. You will not even be able to get up out of your seat."
Oh, man, this is some fucking magic shit, dude.
Well, that's classic hypnotism.
Yeah.
Like, there's that old-timey story of some, I think, British dude, some European dude, and he was, I think, in Egypt, and he was trying to get away with his life, and he convinced this, like, super jacked up, like, Bedouin, like, warrior that he couldn't lift this tiny wooden box. And through the power of suggestion, this dude just couldn't lift it. And then, like, you know, he would lift it and everyone would be like, oh, shit, he's a fucking wizard. He can lift the super box. But, like, the strongest, toughest warrior amongst us couldn't. It's like a classic case describing the power of suggestion. So at this point, this is a Jedi mind trick meets an asshat that bought a hypnotism book at a fucking dollar store.
I don't know,
and
man. This
got
guy
really
just
good.
bamfed in there. And
He
he's
did
like,
bamf.
You're under my control.
All
Like,
right.
you know?
So that part is impressive.
Yeah.
The none of you all can move. But then again, I mean, if you have magical powers and you just need to say it, maybe it doesn't need to be impressive.
Yeah, like he has to make a grand announcement. He's like, excuse me, everyone.
Pardon me.
You will not leave. I'm like, fuck this asshole. All right, fine. Fine, we won't leave. All right.
Fine.
All right.
Doug then looked over at his coworker, a man named Cyril. Cyril was the bus conductor in charge of collecting the fare and tickets from the passengers.
See?
The partner in crime.
Nice.
Doug could not believe it as Cyril suddenly closed his eyes and took a seat at the one vacant seat on the bottom deck. So it's chock full of fuckers. And that can be 52 or 57 to 72.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Recalled.
Yeah.
It's probably not that because I don't know how many people are on top.
Right.
But we don't know. At that same moment, the rest of the figures materialized inside the bus. So what was outside is now inside. At that moment, according to Mr. Black, a 16-year-old girl named Kathy hid under a seat at the back of the bus on the top deck and heard the hooded man saying, "Sleep, sleepy, go to sleep." Which I fucking love.
I don't know if I can take this guy seriously.
It's hard. Like, he is bamping, like you're saying.
Fucking master of darkness. Like, whatever. Sleep. Sleepy. Go to sleep. What if I don't want to go to sleep?
It's so annoying.
Unless he's saying this and people are falling asleep.
They are. That's the thing.
It's like some David Copperfield
shit. Or
shit.
like some Neil Gaiman shit where it's both absurd and yet unironically powerful.
Oh, these are just some weird like wood wizards that got bored one day. They're like, let's just fucking make these people go to bed. And weird. Getting weird.
We're definitely going to have to figure out what the agenda was.
Yeah.
I mean, not that we ever will.
No.
Mind you. But it demands like something. I mean, this is essentially I wouldn't call it a terrorist attack necessarily, but like.
No, it's a little bold.
It's a
robbery.
It's definitely a hostage situation.
Perfect for robbery. Sleepy, sleepy, go to sleep, and then just rob everybody.
Yeah.
And then just be like, "See ya."
I mean, I figure wizards have, access to alchemical processes.
Yeah, but I mean,
they probably don't need to steal your wallet.
Yeah, but I mean, if you got a bunch of, dude, magic ain't free, man.
Yeah, fair.
You know, you gotta
buy a grimoire.
You gotta support. You gotta pay the mortgage. You got your wife. She's thinking you go to work when you're actually going to like your cool little coven and doing cool witchy wizard shit. Like, you gotta get that cash. And what a way to do it. You and your buddies.
For itself. You're right.
Yeah, you're not gonna hurt anybody. You're
some
like
fucking reservoir dogs.
Yeah,
reservoir wizards.
Reservoir wizards. Yeah, dude. All right. Okay. Well, hopefully they don't hurt anybody. We'll see.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's hoping.
Fair. Jesus.
Okay.
Foreboding much?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to find my sleepity sleep.
Sleep.
Oh, where was I?
Sleep.
Oh, I'm going to find it. Oh.
Kathy then heard the man.
Where am I? Oh, there it is.
There
way
you
down
go.
At the bottom. I'm sorry. I apologize to everyone that had to hear that.
It's okay. It's fine.
Shameful.
It's a little look behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. Struggling Uncle Bobby.
Okay.
Kathy then heard the man walking up the stairs saying aloud, "You're all feeling very sleepy."
This is the hypnotist, rogue hypnotist.
She waited until he went to the front seats on the top deck, then darted down the back stairs. She saw that everyone on the bottom level seemed to be in a trance with their eyes closed. Wasting no time, Kathy wedged open the door just enough to slip outside, and she began to sprint down Hunter's Lane, fueled by terror and adrenaline, her legs moving as fast as they could carry her. Knowing better, Kathy finally succumbed to the temptation to glance behind her, and to her horror, she saw that two of the hooded men were barreling after her in the darkness. Mr. Black continued. Upon reaching Church Road North, Kathy saw a police officer near the coffee house pub, but she was so scared and so out of breath she was unable to scream to him. After what must have felt like an eternity, the teenager eventually reached the officer and began to frantically tell him of what had transpired back at the bus. Despite her version being garbled, he at least understood that it was something that needed attending to. He told Kathy to stay put and immediately began running toward Prince Alfred Road. When he eventually reached the bus a few minutes later, he saw no hooded figures in black robes, but he did see something very strange. Quote, And this is from Mr. Black again. The driver and passengers on the bus were all sitting in their seats, eyes wide open, but with blank stares. And at first they did not react to the constable as he asked them what was wrong. To him, they appeared to be in a trance, which they eventually all snapped out of after a few minutes, and not one of the passengers or the conductor or the driver could remember the sinister rogue men.
Oh, man.
Yeah. According to Mr. Black, this temporary amnesia seemed to last, quote, for about 10 minutes, and then, as if someone had flipped a switch, the recollections came flooding back. Why were you going this way if you were doing the 79 route? The officer asked the driver. Doug immediately pointed out that there had been a diversion sign. The diversion sign by the thatched house sent me this way, he told the officer. He could barely get the words out given how sleepy he still felt. Not sure what was going on, the police officer instructed the driver to stay put and not go anywhere. The officer walked over to High Street, but could not locate any diversion signs. Either it had been removed or it had not been there to begin with. By then, another officer had arrived, and together they asked the driver if he and the others had been drinking that night, to which Doug felt, appropriately I might add, insulted. When he tried to get the engine started again, it roared to life with no problems whatsoever.
Shit.
He could not understand it, and he begged the officer to believe his story.
Man, it's like some like Lord of Illusion type shit or something.
And here's where we get into alternate sourcing.
Okay.
This is Mr. Black writing. According to Tom Sleeman.
My boy Tom, dude, Summer Sleeman, the slopes of Sleeman. Dude.
The slopes of Sleeman.
Oh, Tommy Sleeman.
Who wrote about this case in his Haunted Liverpool, Volume 32. The officer remained skeptical of the whole affair, though he did acknowledge that it was very strange. And that's funny because until I got to that point, I'd seen this in a few different videos. It's not really like widely known.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the two that I cited and one other that just basically is a rehash of the bedtime stories one.
Right.
And I was like, of course. Yeah, Liverpool.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's where he rocks.
Yeah, totally. When he's on volume 32
right.
of Haunted Liverpool. God damn. The man's prolific.
So that's all we have. That's
okay.
That's it for that.
Corroboration. I've honestly,
they
you've got them.
Clearly had an agenda. They set out a sign, or they at least made Doug believe he saw a sign.
That's what I was thinking, dude. This is some weird, like, mentally project a sign to Doug.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
And they got the bus to stop, and they did not want anyone getting away. But it doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, it is shady, absolutely. But it doesn't mean they're necessarily had nefarious intent.
No.
I wonder if there was like a post-hypnotic suggestion. Like, why put him to sleep? We don't find out that they were robbed. You think that would be mentioned in the account if they all
because I mean, if you
broke.
literally put everybody to sleep on this bus? I mean, unless this was like an exercise for a bigger heist,
right?
Like, which doesn't make any sense.
Or
like, this is pretty big. You have a ton of people on this bus you could just rob.
They were like paid by somebody to delay one person, and it was easier to just delay
the entire bus,
like 35 people,
yeah,
than just single this one person out.
Yeah, and they had a bit of a gap there where they weren't even sure what happened, and all of a sudden everything comes back, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, yeah!" That was a bunch of dudes in black masks.
Is really close to alien abduction scenarios.
So
the car dying, the memory not being there. I mean, again, in a Jacques Vallée, fucking Jack Valley, Magonia sense. There are analogies between occult practices and entities and extraterrestrials and interdimensionals.
Yeah.
Could they be aliens? Could aliens be fucking wizards? I mean, we don't know any of this. So I'm just gonna wrap it up and then we'll just break down what we can.
Rogue wizard contingent.
It's difficult to know what to make of this last incident, or really any of them. The Wavertree episode seems to indicate that we may be sharing our reality with a clandestine cabal of wizards who have perhaps furtively formed in the centuries since the heydays of grimoires and alchemical pursuits, a sort of breakaway coven not forged on the scientific principles governing engineering and physics, as more academically minded ufologists have posited may have occurred post-World War II with those who mastered anti-gravitic tech, but much more arcane arts that rely less on traditional scientific breakthroughs and more on noetic sciences and the inherent power of acoustics, art, and chemical interactions. In short, incantations, sigils, spells, and potions, cauldrons optional. They may or may not be required.
I mean,
I don't know. So I'm talking about a wizard breakaway society.
Yeah.
That harkens to
or even just
Thundar the Barbarian.
Like obviously at that time in England, you're talking. I mean, there's plenty of cool like magical groups going on. Like you've got like the OTO, like Thelema and Aleister Crowley.
Sure.
And there's all kinds of like offshoot groups that just happen. Like maybe these guys just nailed it, or they're just like. Like I said, man, like some like rogue hypnotists that just like, there you go,
right.
Doing it. I mean, what better way, man? Villainy. I mean, what better way to do it? You're not hurting anybody. You're literally hypnotizing them and robbing them. But as you mentioned, nobody reported anything missing. Maybe this could, maybe this is some weird like practice run for something, or just maybe testing the powers out. Like, hey, could we do this? I don't know. Let's try.
I mean, you're right.
Bold.
And if you have those skill sets, you've got to find, I guess, some way to exercise it, though you would think maybe not the middle of the afternoon on a fully crowded bus.
It seems like a big exercise.
I mean, I think what they're sus. They're definitely fucking sus.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
But what if maybe they were actually just playing the devil's advocate, trying to help out? What if like some other paranatural event was going to happen and they needed to stop this shit and put the kibosh on it?
Like
they
stopped the bus.
Maybe the charred arm was going to fucking fully manifest and it would have been a fucking bloodbath.
It is weird that it all centers around this bus. That is kind of odd.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, maybe they were there to like face whatever was on the bus and like expel it.
I mean, we don't know what happened once everyone was unconscious.
No, we don't. It's weird.
And Kathy got away.
Yeah, no. Weird.
Yeah.
This bus is fucked.
That bus is fucked.
This is so fucked.
Like, I don't know what happened to that bus, but that bus is fucked.
Hopefully they just buried it somewhere. Just drive it off a cliff into the sea. Is there a sea nearby? Yeah, it's gotta be
it's a
one.
fucking island.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Literally,
it's an island.
The Irish Sea is right there.
Drive that fucker right into the old Irish Sea. Like, see you later, 79. Nice knowing you.
Then the ocean's haunted. Now we're all fucked.
The ocean's haunted. Way to go, Mark. You thought that big pile of fucking plastic was a problem. Guess what? Now you got ghosts everywhere.
It's so fucking weird,
it's
though.
So strange, man.
That buses are collecting faceless things, eye-poking little Victorian girls.
Yeah, I guess.
The charred arm of doom, the burning damned, as we referred to it, and fucking, and then finally.
But then I guess
masters.
Anything could be anything could be like the center of a curse, or just it doesn't. I mean, just because it's a house or like a haunted park, like we had last week in the Patreon. Like, I guess anything could really be the center of whatever sort of weird nefarious shit's going on, even if it's a bus.
I mean,
you
could put all the sage in the world, and I don't think it's going to cut it with this thing.
No,
like I don't know how you fix it. Like a full-on exorcism. Like
you exorcise a bus.
I mean, if you can do it technically, no. I think only people can have an exorcism, but you can have a banishment. I would think.
You could. I'm sure if you got a hold of the right people, they could probably figure something out.
But I mean, if you could figure out,
or they're gonna say throw it in the sea.
What this bus is, and you were into the occult, could be like your traveling like coven mobile,
dude.
That would be so badass.
This is your. Dude, this is your wicked VW bug of haunted shit right here, dude. You just get all your magical buddies on there. You're like, woo, let's go. We're going to go pick up a young Alan Moore. There you go.
Yes.
Perfect.
I know. Drink up.
Yeah.
Put a keg in there.
Weird, man.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Super weird.
It does remind me of the oft misquoted thing that we, especially Chris and I, like to do with the Tales from the Dark Side.
Oh, yeah.
Which I actually wrote down here, and I'm going to read it just because it really seems like it's appropriate here. And this came out in like 1983, which I didn't even realize. I thought it was a late 80s show.
Oh, no shit.
And it was obviously created by George Romero, the late, great, saint of a filmmaker. But the cavernous, gravelly voice, coming from like an open grave would say, man lives in the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side.
Oh,
much more ominous than I'm saying it.
Dude, I love that.
And we often misquote it, but I love it.
Yeah, no, we totally do, but I love it. That wraps it up.
End of it, at the end of the episode, I don't know if you recall, they have another little coda, and it says this: the dark side is always there, waiting for us to enter, waiting to enter us. Until the next time, try to enjoy the daylight.
Oh, shit.
Please do so. And when in doubt, call a fucking cab.
You wrapped it up with the quote from the Tales from the Dark Side. That's very apropos. That totally fits, dude, for sure.
I'm all the time saying it wrong, just off.
But
yes.
I mean, it totally fits what we got going on.
That's fucking
this.
Liverpool. Liverpool is crazy.
That's bonkers, man. Shit. Yeah, we've had a bunch of stories there from Mr. Tom Sleeman and a couple other folks. Yeah, man, it's just, I don't know.
Tom G, I think.
Tom G sent us tons of stuff from there. Yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, I don't know if maybe the ground is cursed or what, but yeah, there's all kinds of.
Or I mean, it could be like a physics anomaly. It really could be like a.
Oh, like Werewolf World.
Like Werewolf World,
yeah, dude.
Or like what some people assume, like Skinwalker Ranches. Like,
like one giant nexus.
Some people say it's like a Native American curse, and some people say it's a crashed UFO, and some people say it's just a weird, a place where physics is fucked up because of some anomalous thing that happened in the past, whether it be magical or just purely scientific.
Yeah.
So maybe there are certain places where weird shit can creep through. The Point Pleasant factor. A lot of other places.
Kind of like Ohio, like you said earlier in the episode.
The Ohio River Valley especially.
Especially. And maybe that is kind of a thing where you just come across these areas that are just like hotbeds for like weird shit to happen. Just so happens it's all of Liverpool. And I mean, why not?
Fascinated about the sheer number of time slips there.
The time slips are really interesting.
And that is scary in like a Langoliers type way.
Yeah.
Because there's, for everyone that just walks out of the store and everyone's wearing like Humbergs and fucking being all like madmen or whatever, like 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, there's got to be someone that didn't get back.
Dude, we had time slips to Into the Future. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The time slip, it was like Into the Future with like a tank in the street, and it was like some weird future war, and the kid that experienced it just was, he came back, thank God. But yeah, I mean, it's like weird. Yeah, man, this place is odd. This bus, like we said, is fucked.
It's fucked.
I mean,
I would like to go head to head with the Golden Eagle. Like if they drag raced, what if they got into an accident with like the metal blend? Would they become like the super occult fucking Ravager? Literally the Black Vulva.
Yes, dude. It's the Black Vulva, the Golden Eagle, this thing, and dude, just this big amalgamation of just cursed vehicle. Do
you remember
slowly driving itself?
The fucking Night. Of course, you remember Knight Rider with David Hasselhoff.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Do you remember when his evil twin brother with like the mustache came out and he drove the evil Kit truck?
Dude. I do remember the evil Kit truck.
It was so delightfully absurd. I can't help but see, like, someone could build like the ultimate evil car using the parts of the fucking of 79 and Volga and fucking Golden Eagle and I'm sure there's others.
This is like a shit show bus of evil. I love
it. Oh my God, throwing James Dean's spider bumpers.
Yeah, and we've actually covered other weird vehicles too.
There was the one the self-driving car in, I think it was the Netherlands.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
And that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And all I remember really is that the guy parked his car. He was like a newspaper reporter. He came out. He thought it was stolen, but then like 50 fucking people saw it driving.
It was just whipping around.
Gallivant, almost hitting a bunch of kids at a school bus stop. All sorts of ill shit.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, man? We, goddamn it, son of a bitch, we did it.
We did it.
British Bus Bedlam, Phantom Poker, The Burning Damned, and the Wavertree Incident. Thank you all so very much for joining us, Cryptonaut Podcast. Christopher will be back next week, and Robert, we have some shout-outs to do for the good folks who support us over there at patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast.
Thank you, everybody. I say it every week, but you keep this fucking ship afloat, and we just could not be more grateful.
No, we cannot. It's awesome. You guys support us every week. You show up, you're here, monthly paying for it. It's crazy. Like, you look at the numbers and you're like, shit, that's insane.
It is.
It is nuts.
No, I mean, it's one of the coolest fucking things ever.
No, it's super cool. We appreciate it.
Manuel S.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Manuel S.
Seth Holiday.
Hell yeah, Seth. Thank you. We appreciate it, Seth.
2 L's.
2 L's.
I like that.
There it is.
Isaac Cox.
Thank you, Isaac.
Sheila McHale.
Hell yeah, Sheila. We appreciate that.
D-.
What up, D-? Love it.
Demaki.
Demaki. Is it Demaki?
Is someone die
Demaki?
like Deus Maki?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Daimaki?
You're right. Yeah.
It could be real like Daimaki.
Yeah.
Demaki. But I want to say it like you doing an
Demaki.
impression of Nicole
of my
talking
wife.
about
Yeah.
you.
Where's
Demaki?
Nice.
Duran Barron.
Hell yeah, Duran Barron. Thank you so much.
Andrew F.
Yes, Andrew.
Last, most assuredly not least, Krista Kearney. Thank you, one and all. God bless you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bless your black hearts.
That support. If you would like to get bonus episodes, you can watch us do this podcast. I'm looking at the camera. Oh my God, I'm not. I'm looking at the camera right here because I looked at the monitor. It didn't work out for me.
I'm looking at the camera monitor.
I literally looked at the monitor. I'm like, why am I not looking at the camera? Because the camera's right here. You can watch us do this podcast.
Oh, exciting.
You can watch all of my antics and Bob's antics. And
we do have
Chris.
antics.
You can see Chris's eyes roll.
You can.
We could feel them from across town, actually. He's
I know.
Yeah, but he's holding up over here.
You can see Baffa Gray's boobs.
Yeah, no, well, Baffa Gray's got the holding the she got the brassiere on. Got the little bikini top.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying
I was
full
gonna
nude.
I was gonna take it off.
Ooh.
Maybe for Patreon.
Saucy. Oh yeah, I think
I think they disturbed Chris. I don't want him to edit this and see the little Baphomet boobs.
Oh, I think
we recently discovered that the Baphomet head glows.
Yeah,
it's wicked. It's the other night when we were like leaving here, we like shut the lights off and just like in here like staring at it glowing.
That's awesome.
It was this 2 grown men fucking blown away. Like this alien head glows.
Oh, it's such a cool gift.
Oh, dude, it is. It's awesome.
God, that's really
awesome.
I can't believe somebody made that.
Yeah.
And for us and based on your design.
Yeah, just kind of ripped.
How
It's awesome.
Wicked is that?
Super dope.
Like I never see like just the things that people have sent us. It never ceases to amaze me.
It's insane, dude.
Like the talent of our fans
the cool
incredible.
like crafty things that they do, like that's knit. How awesome is that? I mean, it's so dope. So yeah, again, that is patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast, bonus audio, bonus video, access to the Discord server, all kinds of fun stuff happening over there. The Instas and the Twitters and the Facebooks, the socials, the media, TikTok's a thing. We're there doing pretty good now that we're above that 1,000 mark. It still might get banned. We don't know. But if you want to see clips from our Patreon videos, you can go there and check that out. I do like little weekly clips there. And the merch, hellerspace.com. Get yourself all that merch there for the holidays. Don't buy gifts for anybody else but yourself because you are the only one that deserve gifts.
That does not seem accurate.
It's okay.
You can buy gifts for whomever you choose.
It's the season of giving, and if you're going to buy...
I like to give.
If you're going to buy someone something, get yourself something nice. Sometimes all that gets me through the week is when I place an Amazon order and I'm like, I need it to come. It's not even that I need it to I don't have to have, I need the dopamine hit of watching it travel.
I hear you. Exactly.
I hate it.
Dude, no, I know.
Dude, I have a terrible day and I'm like, I'm ordering myself a Flash action figure immediately when I get home.
I fully geeked out, and you know what I did? I was lamenting that I couldn't, I'm not going to digress too far, but that I couldn't watch the Godzilla films of my youth in the fashion that I used to hear them, because all of these like American International Pictures dubs are gone, like, or no one knows who has the rights to them.
Okay.
And so when they re-released all of them through their Criterion collection, they either are, Japanese with subtitles or the international dub that was done in Japan by actors that are struggling, let's say.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
And so I just kind of missed it. And also I thought, God damn it, we have the internet. There's got to be some bootleg. And I found this fucking bootleg place.
Dude.
And I was so excited. And I just ordered a fucking batch of them. And when they came in, I was like a giddy little child.
Dude, I'm telling you.
And I got all of these movies that I have not heard properly since I was a kid. And so, yes, the dopamine hit is very real.
Yeah, it is.
And thank you again, Patreon, for allowing me to do this.
Yeah.
While
yeah.
I still buy everyone else Christmas gifts too.
And get your own dopamine hit by getting yourself that merch. Again,
And we've got
HellerSpace.com.
a new T-shirt coming out for soon.
End of December. Yeah, we're gonna put it at the end of December. Yeah, we will have a new design.
We should
coming
probably do it a little bit before Christmas.
Well, the cutoff for ordering stuff is like the 15th. So even if we did it today, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Then.
But it's okay because the Christmas T-shirt is technically the Slayer T-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was the Black Friday T-shirt that gets you
That's
through
right.
to Christmas, and then after that we'll have another design.
Yeah, so it'll be like a New Year's T-shirt.
Yeah, it'll be it'll end up being like a New Year's.
It's a really really cool one.
Oh, it's super dope design. We can't wait to put it up there and show everybody. So yeah, there it is. Thank you all so very much, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Mm-hmm. And how
this
was fun.
Where's the stop button?
I don't know.
I gotta find it.
We can't figure out how to end a pod without Chris.
Stop recording.
Chris, we miss you.